Hey, what's going on, guys? Gamer Dude back once again, returning to my Gotham Knights series. Now, I've returned to this because God of War Ragnarok is seemingly lacking a New Game Plus after completion. So I figured until Santa Monica Studios decide to do an update and release New Game Plus, like they did with the original game, then we might as well continue with the series that we already had going, which is Gotham Knights. But anyway, before we get into the video, y'all know the routine, or at least I hope you do by now. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe, because it would just be your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. We are of course going to be picking up right where we left off from the last Gotham Knights livestream. And for this, I will be focusing mostly on the main story, playing as Batgirl. Except in a couple of instances where I've already done that particular part as Batgirl, so I'll switch to a different hero, just so I can see the different outcomes and don't have to play the game all the way through once again. As I have 100% in Gotham Knights. I've got the Platinum Trophy, I've done everything that needs to be done, I've done all the side missions, I've done all the side quests, I've done all the crimes, all the side activities, all the collectibles. And once you finish the game, it just leaves you wondering what to do next. You know, you think to yourself, well, what can I do now? Because once you finish the game, all you can do is go back out, do the crimes, go back in, do the same crimes, and it's just rinse and repeat over and over and over again. Now, I know this quite well, and I'm sure you do as well. Gotham Knights was not received very well at all. In fact, it's been confirmed that WB Montreal are already working on a new game. And, you know, that their focus has moved away from Gotham Knights and they're working on a new game. So, as to whether or not any future DLC for the game is getting scrapped, I don't know, but I will definitely do a video if I find anything out regarding that. But anyway, yeah, because I've already played through the game, I'm going to be doing a commentary, so just until people start stopping in, enjoy the gameplay. Now, this will be my third playthrough. The first time I played through it sporadically, changing between heroes for each mission, and it got a little bit confusing. The second time, I stuck to two particular heroes through the story and finished it with Nightwing. This time, I'm sticking with just one hero, only switching for the side mission case files, so Clayface, Mr. Freeze, and Harley Quinn. As for the main story, I'll be doing it solely as Batgirl. Unless, of course, there's a mission I come across that I've already done as Batgirl, then I'm going to switch to another character that I didn't do it as. But you get what I'm saying, you know. I'm only changing characters when it comes to doing the crime. Excuse me, when it comes to doing the crimes outside, and anything extra in between.
Unfortunately, the regulators managed to escape with a lot of confidential data.
But now I need to remember what part of the game I'm actually on, because ever since God of War came out, I put this game down. Not gonna lie, I have been on the God of War train ever since it came out. You know, I'm not sad that I put this game down, but you know, you can't exactly be surprised that I put it down for a bit, you know, because once I'd done everything, there just wasn't anything left to do. And God of War was God of War, you know, I had to play it. The Powers Club. I believe I've done this as Batgirl. I know for sure I've done it as Nightwing. And I think, yeah, I have done it as Batgirl. So I'll tell you what. Robbity Robin. Look at that power level. 10k. That's one hell of a power level. I've got Batgirl at 10k. I've got Red Hood at 10k. Just gotta work on Nightwing. I actually like Robin as a character in this game. For a while, I didn't want to use him because it wasn't the Robin I was accustomed to. You know, as Nightwing's Robin or Jason Todd's Robin. I don't really know that much about Tim Drake's Robin, other than the Arkham series.
You might say that. I'm finishing my last game with Bruce. I couldn't save our board from the manor, but I do have our notes. We tracked each move. To continue the game if one of us was ever away.
You mean dead?
Are you winning?
Playing as Bruce, I can't see how he loses.
Bruce is dead. Maybe he wins your game, but without him, we've lost.
I'm not so sure about that.
Not so sure he's dead?
Not so sure we've lost. Bruce played an important role, but he never saw himself as the only piece in play.
See, that's what's interesting to me, you know, because Alfred never really thought Bruce was dead. And another interesting part about this little free mode section in the Belfry, Jason Todd is the only one who actually changes his clothes. And you know, Gotham Knights isn't like the Arkham series. It doesn't just take place in a single night. It's over the course of several days. So you gotta wonder, like, if they're all wearing the same clothes day in and day out, except for Jason, then this place is gonna smell like a slapped ass by the end of it all. Especially with all the workouts that they do, you know, there's all the blood and the sweat and the ugh, it just ugh. Okay, so apparently YouTube sees it fit to send me a notification that I'm live streaming. Yes, YouTube, I know I'm live streaming. I started the live stream.
They're a secret society that pulls the strings of Gotham from the shadows. And they've been around as long as the city itself.
Controlling the city, huh? If they're for real, they're super good at keeping it secret.
If the legend is true, and the court is as powerful as the stories claim, there's a good chance they're orchestrating the releases from Blackgate. Which would mean they've been getting away with murder for centuries.
Got it. Hopefully the Powers Club can tell us more.
Look at that. Did you see that? Robin was talking on comms as he was dematerialized in a transporter beam, so to speak. Because that's what the Watchtower teleporter is. It's a Star Trek transporter beam. Like it or not, it is a Star Trek transporter beam.
This is worth a look.
That's the one.
There we go.
So, of course, before we
Handling this.
before we start the mission, we're gonna do all these crimes. Because Gotham is just apparently so full of crime that, well, you have to do the same crime every single night, just with different people. I mean, I knew Batman had his work cut out for him, but, you know, after 80 years, man, the dude had to be spent, you know? It's no surprise someone finally got him. That someone, of course, in this universe being Ra's al Ghul. Which is surprising in of itself. But, you know, they give an explanation for it, you know, the fact that Ra's al Ghul just seemingly went banana balls because of so many dips in the Lazarus pit. And, you know, I get that.
That's the one. They're in the hospital. I guess someone broke into GCPD and did my...
Okay, now how do I get in this building? I'm not gonna lie, the game is still incredibly buggy. It's like you'll come across something to do something, and the specific place it tells you to go, you can't get into, and it fails. These are under the floor. I think I remember an entrance somewhere. Yeah, there we go.
Units needed by 3rd and Bar. Known criminals have been spotted in the area.
I'm just getting a feel for the game again, because I've been playing way too much God of War since that came out. And you know me, guys. When I get a new game, when I am invested in a new game, that is all I will play. Sneaky little blackguard. Avoided all my attacks. That's all this game is, really. It's just dodge, dodge, dodge. I do miss the parrying from the Arkham universe. Really hate drones.
That went even better than I expected.
So I don't plan on being live for very long tonight. I've had a busy couple of days, as you can imagine, with my work and such. So I neglected the channel a little bit after I finished God of War. But when I realised that God of War didn't have a New Game Plus, I was kind of stuck on what to do next, because that's what I was going to live stream. That was going to be my next series. You know, the God of War New Game Plus, and I'd switch between that and this. But yeah, New Game Plus doesn't exist on Ragnarok just yet. I mean, it's a little disappointing, but they've got to save some stuff for later, right? Like in Gotham Knights, for example. I know for a fact that the story is not complete. You know, it feels incomplete when you play it. Something feels missing. You know, there's missing pieces to the story.
Units needed to investigate near Lintown and Bryant. We have reports of a kidnapping.
Especially when you go into the Arkham Asylum area. You know, you find these 3 conveniently open cells, which conveniently tease 3 villains. And for them to specifically have those 3 cells open, teasing those 3 exact villains, well, you kind of think to yourself, well, maybe something is happening here.
What's going on over there?
Take a look. Someone, please! I need help!
Damn it! This isn't right!
Damn it! Someone get me out of here!
You can't see me. Literally, because, you know, smoke bomb and teleportation.
If anyone's out there, I need help! I need help!
See, now that was fun.
I don't know what I would have done without you.
I got your back. It's not safe out here right now.
I mean, I don't expect too many people to stop by through this live stream because, you know, Gotham Knights, as I said at the beginning, it wasn't very well received, and not a lot of people after playing it want to revisit it. But me personally, regardless of if it's a lot of crap or if it's really good, I will still play it because I love anything superhero related, you know. In the Batman universe, the Spider-Man universe, the Avengers universe, anything superhero related, I'm all for it.
Need officers to investigate near the Tricorner Armory. Known criminals have been spotted in the area.
You know, that's why I still kind of play Avengers from time to time, even though the Avengers game is just really bad at this moment in time. Like, really bad. If you haven't played it recently, you don't know just how bad the Avengers game has gotten. Of course you turned around.
Work on your perimeter sweeps.
Where'd that freak get to? No way you're gonna get away from us!
I've been wanting to party some more.
Heads up!
See, that's just not fair. Like, it won't let you dodge out of the way.
Nothing personal. Bye-bye, evil lab.
Oh no, that was absolutely personal. He said, "Oh yeah, nothing personal." No, that was totally personal. I gotta admit though, the soundtrack for this game is on point. I will admit I'm sick of hearing the same song over and over again when I go to each crime scene. But the soundtrack is still on point. I love it. Like the heavy metal rock music vibe for every enemy faction, even the Court of Owls, is really good actually. Especially Harley Quinn's. Harley Quinn's song that she was singing in the hospital will forever be stuck in my head. It's like that one song that you sing as a kid, you know, the song that'll get on your nerves. It's like that. It gets on your nerves, but it's that good it stays stuck in your head. Not the get on your nerves song. No, that wasn't good. Don't quote me on that.
Units requested near the Knight's Dome Sporting Complex. Suspicious activity reported. Officers advised to use caution.
I thought you were dead. I am really rusty at this game at this point.
What just happened?
You gotta go fast.
Yeah, B. Come on, freak.
Always take out the healers first, no matter what game you're playing.
Robin wins again.
Oh crap, I didn't secure the money. I thought they were all fighting me.
Got me a baby here.
Ouch.
Here it comes.
We got thrillers, freak.
It's really starting to annoy me. Come on, Toro.
I'll treat you like a man.
Sad.
Oh, finally.
All ready for the GCPD to pick them up.
Those big guys really do not like to go down. There is something satisfying about doing all the crimes around the city, you know, especially when there's scale in difficulty. I mean, for this particular playthrough, I decided to up the difficulty to the hardest difficulty. And, you know, after giving the game a break for a little bit and screwing around with the buttons and whatnot, I am struggling a little bit. And you know that's what happens when you play a game from launch and then suddenly put it down and come back a few weeks later. you lose your touch, you know? You're off your game.
Robin, we don't know what you'll find in there.
Sorry. You'll probably be out for a while.
Good night's sleep soon. Someone's gonna get hurt. Let's move. Come on out of here. This feels wrong.
I love doing that. Especially with the slingshot, you know, the slingshot is just such a Bart Simpson thing to have.
I was going to play nice.
Why are you so scared of us?
Yo, Blazin', what's good, my dude? Thanks for stopping in, as always, appreciate it. As I was just saying, with God of War Ragnarok lacking a New Game Plus, I figured I'd return to this for a little bit. And I am, to say the least, a little bit rusty. Especially after getting used to God of War for so long, it's like, oh, what am I doing?
I missed.
Gotham has a new knight.
I think it'll be the same with God of War Ragnarok as what they did with the first God of War game. They made us wait for the New Game Plus, and if I recall, it was about a month, maybe 2 months, before New Game Plus was added to the original game. Yeah, dope, dude, dope. Finally getting a PS5. That means we could be the real dynamic duo on this game, man.
Yeah, go Robin.
Of course, there's plenty of other exclusives that you're gonna want for the PS5. Not to mention games that come out for both platforms but have exclusive content to PlayStation. So, Marvel's Avengers, for example, has Spider-Man exclusive to PlayStation. God of War is an exclusive PlayStation game. No, see, that's what I thought about the original God of War. Remember, that's how you first discovered my channel, actually, when I did my secret DLC hiding in plain sight video. I thought there was going to be DLC because of those locked realms, but it turned out the DLC was actually just the New Game Plus. Which, if it comes to God of War Ragnarok, I'm looking forward to, because there was
What's in there, sir?
there was new content in New Game Plus. Not big new content, it was just some new armor and an extra side mission, but still, you get what I'm saying.
Let's shut them down.
See, I was just talking about the DLC for Gotham Knights. I'm not 100% sure it's actually happening now. Because the game wasn't received well at all, and WB Montreal have already moved on to working on another project, it seems like Gotham Knights might be dead. you know, there's that one scene in particular that I was talking about before with Arkham Asylum. How the devs specifically had those 3 particular cells open in Arkham Asylum. Was Killer Crocs, Jane Doe, and Professor Pig. That told me that, oh, are they potential DLC villains? Are they coming in this, like, hive system that they're integrating? I don't know. But it kind of just seemed that way to me.
The Dr. Q podcast. It's so motivating.
Yeah, I listened to it right before going out to space.
Well, that was weird. Are you okay?
Yeah, maybe this time they'll put in DLC. Well, I don't have a video to make around that because there's... Unlike in the first game, there's no, like, looming questions other than where Atreus went off to. But I doubt they'll put that in a DLC. They will cover that in a separate game.
Torture them in front of a live studio audience.
They should put us in charge of a television station. We get such good ratings.
You ready for this?
I really got to get me some Gotham Knights practice in.
Just like that, it's over. That should keep Dr. Q at bay for a while at least. I hope there's fresh coffee back at the Belfry.
Well, they said for sure that it was going to be the last game, but I think by saying that, they meant it was going to be the last God of War game. You know, I think they're still going to continue the franchise, but with Atreus at the helm. You know, they can't exactly call the game Loki because, well, Disney would have so much fun with lawsuits and copyright issues right there. So they can't call the game Loki. So I don't know what they're gonna call it. Like Son of the God of War or God of War Loki or Loki the God. Well, no, they can't call it Loki because you know Disney. I don't know. I'm torn between ideas for what they can actually call the game because Disney will have a field day with the copyright laws if they call it Loki.
Units needed to investigate near Oxalis and Exhibition. Reports have come in about a possible kidnapping.
I should check them.
I mean, it is possible they could add a DLC with involving Kratos.
I need help.
But it's still very doubtful. And no, I don't think they'll call it God of War Ascension either because that title already exists. There is a God of War game called God of War Ascension, and it is based around Kratos' ascension to godhood.
You can count on my support from now on.
No worries. Just
Yeah,
get somewhere safe.
I've been saying that for a while, Blazing. God of War Ascension was it was a standalone game actually. It was made by different developers than the original God of War series, but it was still in the same universe, and it was a prequel to the entire series. You know, it focused on Kratos and his family and what happened to his family and how they died, and how Kratos went on his just rampage of killing the gods. Oh yeah, I forgot about the PSP God of War game as well. But no, God of War Ascension was a full. It was a full PS3 game if I remember rightly. But yes, I digress. We're talking about God of War, and I'm not even playing God of War. The whole reason I got into talking about God of War was just because of the New Game Plus aspect. You know, I was hoping it would come with it, like Gotham Knights did, but sadly, it didn't. You probably don't remember it, Blazing, because it wasn't as well received as God of War 1, 2, and 3. You know, not a lot of people actually liked it. Bioelectric stuff in this game.
I'm gonna bring the heat.
Probably shouldn't have underestimated me.
You see, unlike this game where I completed absolutely everything pretty much all at once, God of War, I still have a few things left to do in the end game content. But the things I've got left to do are insanely difficult, and there's no way in hell I'm going to get them done. At least not for like 2 years, because that's how long it took me to get them done on the original God of War game. Mind you saying that, there's still a ton of things I've got to do in the original Arkham games.
You never seem to learn.
There's certain things in the original Arkham games that I never finished. Oh, what you mean? You mean this one? This is the fear ability. It's supposed to make enemies afraid and run away, but it does nothing. I think it's actually broken.
You're safe now.
Thank you.
Time to go.
Oh, right, yeah, that...
One of you heroes.
I know which one you're talking about. I actually can't remember how you unlock that. I think it's just by completing challenges. And as you can see, I have completed them all. Except when you start New Game Plus, it forces you to do the training again, which I'm not too fond of. The training was really basic and, you know, really easy. Oh, and a cool thing, actually, in the recent patch update for Gotham Knights, they fixed this. So you can actually fuse these mod chips now without the game completely breaking. It's a nice addition, it's a nice little feature, because, you know, you can get rid of all the ones that you don't want and make room for new ones. For me, it was completely broken, and it just completely crashed the game anytime I tried to do it. I've got one hell of a build as Robin here. I've only got a level 34 melee, but I've left it at that because it does the bioelectric damage, and it's quite up there in power. You know, it's better than that one. It's better than all of them, really. And the suit itself, it's got 4 mod chip slots, which is something you really want. They are incredibly rare to come across the 4 mod chip slots. Yeah, it must have just been a PlayStation issue. Ooh, that looks really good, actually. Yeah, in terms of the mod chips, anyway, it must have just been a PlayStation issue that was causing the problems. But they've released a few patches for the game since it released, and anything that was broken, I think I can safely say has been fixed. But there are a number of other issues that they still need to sort out. And I've gotten a couple with the 4 mod chip slots, like this suit, for example. I got one as Red Hood, and I got one as Batgirl, and obviously I've got this as Robin. But they seem really rare for me to find as Nightwing, you know, or at least a decent one to find anyway. You know, I can't find any other ones with the 4 slots, like any for the weapons. Like, all these only have 2 or 3 slots. I mean, I guess it kind of depends on your playstyle. I mean, I do remember the devs saying, like, gear would drop based on your playstyle. So, like, maybe because I'm more of a, like, bioelectric, zapping them and freezing them kind of player, that's why specific gear hasn't dropped for me. I don't know. But the gear dropping works the same on your suits as well. If you take damage, like particular to poison, you'll get more crafting choices for poison suits than you will anything else. Well, we'll find out, you know, because this won't be the last time I play Gotham Knights. You know, I'm going to come back to it at some point. I just don't know when. Because I was playing it and I figured, actually, you know what, I might as well live stream it, see what happens, see if anybody stops by. So far it's just you, Blazing, and you guys know if you're watching in the future, I don't do this for the views, I don't do it for the popularity, I do it because I enjoy doing it. But if I stream a game and it gets no views while I'm live streaming it, it is really rare that I will return to it.
Let's do this close up.
I'm liking this.
Gotham's better off with prison.
You know, if I'm being honest, I do prefer playing this game as Nightwing or Robin, because they seem to have the fluidity of the previous Arkham games, as opposed to Red Hood, who just seems slow and clunky, and Batgirl, who seems more gadget-focused. But Nightwing and Robin, they seem to have the fluidity that we became accustomed to in the fighting style in the original Arkham game.
Belfry, I've reached the Powers Club. It looks older than Gotham, and even less friendly.
The mansion's been around for over 100 years, and had at least that many renos. I was able to pull up some blueprints, but they're too old to be of any use.
So we have no idea what to expect. Great.
So this is my third time playing through this game, and I know for a fact I'd done this mission as Nightwing and Batgirl, so I'm now doing it as Robin. My focus is, of course, to play the main story solely as Batgirl, but if it comes to a mission where I know I've done this, like, as Batgirl, I'm going to switch.
I'm inside.
Good. Be careful, and let us know what you find.
Yeah, Nightwing's character is very fluid. You know, I like his combat style in this game.
Spotted a patrol.
His combat style in the Arkham games was so much better by far, but those little talon things he shoots out of his wrists, they're not bad actually. I quite like those. I like the idea of it.
No good. Well, look.
Now that that's done, time to explore.
Of the Awesome Knights. Well, I guess you could call them the Awesome Knights, because they are awesome.
AR shows a clear trail of blood. Wonder if there's anything else to see. There's something hidden under the floor. The hatch is wired to a network. There must be some way to activate it.
gives me the creeps.
Tell me about it. I hear people go in and never come out.
Great, that's the last thing I needed to hear.
Dear Thomas Wayne. See, that's another big surprise. Like, there's even though Bruce Wayne is gone in this universe, there's a lot of hints relating to his family and to him. And you know that should have been a dead giveaway from the beginning that he wasn't really dead.
Whatever that means. Just saying, I was hoping for something.
I had my doubts whether or not he was actually dead in the game.
It's easy money.
You know, I was thinking to myself, well, dude's got to be dead. You know, a building collapsed on his head. The dude's got to be dead.
Looks like things are finally starting.
Huh? I need to go check on that.
Oh, you missed that Easter egg? See, like I was saying, when it comes to games like this, when it comes to collectibles, you've really got to search every nook and cranny, every little crevice. Every corner of the game, when it comes to something like this, is a secret. Or an Easter egg. Like in Destroy All Humans 2, for example, if you go to the top of the Golden Gate Bridge, there's a reference to an Easter egg that was in GTA San Andreas, and it's literal Easter eggs on top of the bridge. And the San Andreas Easter egg, it said, there are no Easter eggs here. But in Destroy All Humans 2, they just put Easter eggs. Literal Easter eggs. You know? It's really cool how they do things like that. But that's my point. In places that seemingly look obvious or seemingly look out of the way, it usually contains an Easter egg.
Around. Cut the cheap shot.
Well, I mean, the devs did make it clear that this was not a Batman game. That this was not in that particular world. So it would stand to reason that, even though they did bring him back briefly, that he wasn't going to stay back. You know, he was going to be gone again. Shinobi suit. I think so, actually. I think it is the Shinobi suit. No, I'm using the Eternals suit. But because I don't like that look at all, it just doesn't feel very Robin-y. I went with the classic Robin look. The Teen Titans Robin. You know, we all know this Robin from Teen Titans. That's why I like it. But I didn't know the suits increased the strength. I just thought, like, the mod chips did that.
I knew that book didn't look right. Got it.
Click. You just click every random big red button you come across. Because you know what they say, you never press the big red button. Yeah, kind of like how Batman Beyond went. You know, how Bruce Wayne kind of became the new Alfred.
Hidden in plain sight. Success!
Just had to do that. It seemed natural. No, but I do think, guys, if you're watching now or in the future, after this live stream, I'm going to leave it there for Gotham Knights, because this live stream hasn't been as popular as I would have liked. You know, with just my G-Blazing stopping in. That's it really. And you know, when I'm playing my games and I'm doing commentary, I like to have a chat going. You know, I like my community to stop in and have a chat with each other and have a chat with me discussing the game.
Enable logging mode. Something tells me we're going to want to record what's down here.
Well, as I was saying to you about the DLC for Gotham Knights, they're doing it in kind of like an Avengers Hive system thing, where it's specifically multiplayer.
No obvious way through here. There has to be more to this.
But I'm thinking that they're going to add the 3 villains that we saw in the Arkham Asylum cells, so Professor Pig, Jane Doe, and Killer Croc. Because they seem to have gone out of their way to specifically point out those cells, and have those cells specifically open. It's like, there were no other cells down there, there were no other cells open, it was just those 3 specifically referenced. So I felt like that was going to be like the big deal.
The Court of Owls is watching from inside of Gotham's walls.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch the last episode of The Walking Dead. It is beyond emotional, I'm telling you.
They lurk in every shadow, and they rule us, one and all. But no one talks about them. Not a whispered word is said.
Balls. That's the wrong one. I usually get this first try. I mean, after 2 other attempts, you'd think I would. There's this one I needed to press.
Or if you try to cross them, then a cannon strikes you dead.
There we go. Well, you did when you decided to have a shady organization. See, my ranged attacks with Robin are just so OP.
The truth. The Court of Owls is real.
Oh, it was. It was a really emotional episode. I mean, the last couple of minutes of the episode were very predictable, but it was still really emotional.
Let's see how
I mean, it had to be emotional, you know. 12 years, you know, it's a long time for a show to last. And you know, when you say goodbye to the show and goodbye to these characters, then that's where it really gets you in the feels.
So many things we could have done.
His death has cleared the way for our new acquisition.
Good.
And you know, I've never really noticed this before, but she has a literal stuffed dog on her lap and she's stroking it like it's alive. Major creep vibes.
Senators. I've been assured your bill will pass early next month.
Wonderful. I am bored dealing with filth.
I mean, look, that dog is totally stuffed. It's dead. Who stuffs their own dog? That is just messed up on so many levels.
They're all soft.
And it's creepy! Look at its eyes!
Guess I have no other choice but to go through
The
them.
stuffed dog was supposed to be real, but the devs didn't animate it properly. I mean, that could be the case, but... I mean, come on. It just adds to her whole Cobblepot, old, grouchy vibe of the dog being fake and stuffed.
Better take a look. Robin, you're vigilante.
Does my vigilante justice end here? Because, you know, it kind of seems like it's just beginning.
We know you're here, and we will find you.
No, you won't. I feel like Robin should have had some comedy there and just whispered into the echo of the building. No, you won't. Yeah. They tried to, but they just ran out of money. That was it. That was the explanation. They ran out of money. It's like, yeah, sorry guys, we really wanted to animate this poor little dog that would have only been in the game for a split second, but we ran out of money. Oh, there's somebody still alive. That makes sense now. I thought I got them all.
We've got someone down.
Alley-oop. See, now that was easy. I love doing that, like, vantage hanging takedown. It reminds me so much of the Arkham series, but it's also unique to this game because you leave a little bomb underneath and it just takes them all
A
out.
lot of blood. More than most people can spare.
It's like, yeah, we made everything else look so great. The environments, no matter how small they are, look fantastic. But yeah, this little dog, we're going to make it look crap. Yeah, that'd be a good meme. That'd be a good thing. But we don't really want to add to the hatred that this game already got. I want to see a sequel, you know? I want a sequel.
Death to the traitor.
And if failing a sequel, just... I hate this idea, but if it's the way they have to go, make it live service, you know? For the end game content like they did with Avengers, make it live service. I don't like that idea, but if they're not going to do a sequel, that's what they could do.
The court cannot forgive your failure. You will atone with blood.
Don't do this. I won't do anything.
And you...
Doing anything includes dying, by the way. Just pointing that out.
The last time an intruder set foot here was more than a century ago. The punishment for this insult remains the same.
See, he said he'd do anything, and yeah, death falls into the category of anything, so... Well, technically, live service DLCs are story-based DLCs. People just don't see them that way because you're forced to play the multiplayer stuff. Oh man, I hate this part. I really hate this part. Yeah, that's why I hate this part. Gently, gently. Down we go. Yeah, it's a pretty easy trap. You've just got to figure out the patterns.
These are all bones.
This game is heavily pattern based when it comes to things like that. You know, it's all down to the timing. It's like if you're playing Pac-Man. You know, if you know the patterns of Pac-Man, you got it down. You can win.
There must be hundreds of bodies down here. This jacket is straight out of the 1800s. Has the court been using this pit for that long?
Yeah, that's the thing about things like that in games.
This dress sleeve is wild. Straight out of a movie or museum.
People try to rush through them, and that's what makes them make mistakes, you know? They're like, oh, this is too tricky, this is too complicated, when actually it's a really simple solution. You've just got to take your time, watch for a minute, and not worry about what's going on around you or behind you. Because it seems like that wall behind you is closing in on you, but it's actually not. You know, I stayed in one place long enough and realized it wasn't actually moving. It only moves when you move.
Glad to have you back online. What happened? Are you all right?
It's a long story. The people we're up against are not messing around. I'll tell you more when I get back.
Copy that. See you soon.
Yeah, they're like checkpoints through the traps, if you will. Let's visit that chick. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Custom bat cycle for each character. I have the colour scheme based on their costume colours. We gotta love that realistic cape blowing in the wind. It's like, I know this game gets a lot of hate, but they put a lot of detail in it. I mean, minus these cars, of course. You know, these cars are just very basic, but my point being, everything else, it has a lot of detail in it, and a lot of care and attention was put into the game.
said I'd be hearing from you. I'm Charlotte.
Have we met before? I feel like we have.
My wife and I donate to a number of charities around town. She's quite well off. I'm an artist, so I didn't exactly start out that way.
Is that why you joined the Watch?
I love my wife, but some of her friends, they live in a different world than the rest of us. They report the pettiest crimes and get away with far worse things themselves.
And the GCPD won't do anything about it.
No. Before the Watch, the only other person I could talk to was Bruce Wayne. And now he's... Bruce told me I could use my connections to actually do some good for this city.
Yeah, put two and two together, love. You know, Bruce Wayne's gone, Batman's gone.
I
It's
found
like,
myself talking to Batman.
oh, so that's who he was.
So,
It's like,
what
duh.
information do you have?
It's like if Batman disappears, then that's fine, you know, because Bruce Wayne's still around. But if Bruce Wayne and Batman disappeared, then, well, you know, there's no cover for that. You know, if they both disappear at exactly the same time, it's like, oh, okay, now I get it. You know.
Sorry, I've got nothing for you.
I'm surprised it wasn't all over the news in this game that Bruce Wayne was Batman, because they disappeared at exactly the same time. It would be so obvious to, like, literally everybody in the city.
You're going straight to Blackgate.
Yeah, Batman and Bruce Wayne were they were roommates, and now that Bruce Wayne's gone, Batman has nowhere to live. So Batman was just like, well, then Gotham no longer needs me. I'm not needed here anymore. I'm going to dip. It's like, bye, Gotham. Oh man. It's still just baffling to me how nobody puts two and two together and realizes, like, oh, wait a minute, yeah, that makes total sense after all. I mean, there's not many other people in the universe, a DC universe, that can afford the stuff that Batman has, you know, all the gadgets, all the vehicles. There's not a lot of people in the DC universe that can afford it. You know, there's Lex Luthor, which is majorly doubtful because of his whole I want to destroy the world and kill Superman vibe. There's Simon Stagg, who is, again, doubtful because he's always usually a bitter old man, which I suppose Bruce Wayne turns into eventually, but still, you get my point. So yeah, all the other rich people in the city, you can kind of guess that it's going to fall on Bruce Wayne. Yeah, it's like, oh, my bestie died. I'm so upset. I'm so distraught. That's it. Batman's dead. Batman's gone too. Y'all, Gotham, you're on your own. I'm not Batman anymore. I'll let my lackeys take care of it. I'll let, Robin take care of it. You know, once again, making a joke about Robin being a lame superhero because they've done all the jokes about him. Especially that Family Guy one where there's the car on the edge of the cliff with the girls in it. Robin shows up and they're like, oh, wait, it's you, Robin? Wait, what are you going to do? And he goes, well, I have a cell phone. I can call 911.
There were a few things he kept from me, but this was
no bars. That's the kind of hero that Robin is represented as. Just useless baggage to Batman.
You sure? You just forget they play.
Tim.
You know, you weren't the first Robin, kid.
Or the second.
A bunch of files got corrupted. I'll run some diagnostics, see what I can recover.
But I think it's really cool how in the CW Titans series that Tim Drake has entered the picture and he is now getting the Robin training from Nightwing. Because, of course, Bruce Wayne's Batman in the Titans universe has retired because he did the one thing he said he would never do. He killed the Joker for killing Jason.
I can't authenticate any of these sources.
Supposedly some wingnut wrote a tell-all book about them. But it's a legend in and of itself, so...
Shame, really. Such a work would have made a wonderful addition to the library.
The earliest version of the court rhyme is from the 1700s.
Yeah, I mean, I like what they did with Jason Todd's character in this game. It's different, you know, it's a different take on the character. He's still a douchey dickhead like he always has been, but it's a different take. But the one thing I'm most impressed about is that they finally fixed the tassels on his hoodie. They no longer stick out like they're going to stab you in the face, like they're just knives sticking out of his jacket. They finally fixed them. So that's one thing. I mean, it's possible they could do that, but with Stargirl now cancelled, I would imagine Titans is next, unfortunately. Even though Titans has been renewed for the next season after the one that's currently airing, I get the feeling because Stargirl's gone, Flash is gone, Superman and Lois is next, then the only one left really is Titans. So I think Titans will be cancelled.
These days, he can often be seen personally welcoming guests at his entertainment palace, the Iceberg Lounge. But it was only a few short years ago that Cobblepot was better known as the Penguin.
Yeah, I mean, that's some of the thing I like about it, you know. They understand that he was resurrected, and that took a toll on his mind and his body and his psyche as a human. You know, because think about what it did to Ra's al Ghul. After all those years of exposure and being resurrected and healed by the Lazarus Pit, he finally went banana balls and just decided, right, this is the day I'm going to kill Bruce Wayne. It's like, okay, you could have killed him on multiple other occasions, like the time he outright refused to be your heir and successor and kicked you out of the city, but no, you chose to do it on a random day of the month, on a random day of the year, and just thought, you know what, I'm going to kill him today. But yeah, my point is that they understood this, they welcomed him back to the family, they started seeing him as the person he was and not the monster that came out of the pit. Because for the longest time, Jason was a monster. When he came out of that pit, his mind was like Swiss cheese, is the best way to describe it. You know, it was uncentered, uncontrolled, undisciplined. He was just going off raw instinct and rage until something brought him back.
This is Noor Rashid with GCN.
Yeah, exactly. He's still a massive dick, but that's who he was before the Lazarus Pit, and that's who he is now. You know, he's just tapping into his emotions more than he would have done before the pit. But yeah, so I'm going to call it there, folks. If you're watching in the future, thank you so much for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Sorry it was just the one mission and a night of crime, but I was just testing out to see if the series would gain any popularity if I restarted it. And given from the chat, there's just been one person stopping in. Blazing, as always, do appreciate you stopping in. Appreciate it.
They won't be able to hide anymore.
But I've seen my consistent viewers have been 2 for this live stream, so I'm probably not going to do it again. So, as unfortunate as that is, at least I can enjoy playing it on my own again whenever I fancy on my beautiful home cinema system with surround sound. Oh, just it's a beautiful system, guys. It's great. I would advertise it, but I don't want to get copyrighted for, you know, name dropping certain products that I'm not
I can't
legally or specifically allowed to name. You get what I'm saying.
The court was a difficult subject for Bruce. As a young child, he became convinced they were behind his parents' murder.
Not to worry, I'm still going to be doing a couple of videos along the way. There's a couple of things happening in the gaming world. You know, there's some more news cropping up about games that are coming next year, like Suicide Squad, Hogwarts Legacy, and of course Christmas is coming up. There's a couple of games that are out that I haven't got yet that someone might think, oh, he'll like that, I'll get him that. And I'm kind of leaning toward hope that someone gets me that new Sonic game. You know, I kind of went off the Sonic games after the Mega Drive era because I was kind of like meh about the whole 3D side-scrolling thing when it came to like playing on the PS1 when it was kind of like that open world vibe with games. That's why I went off the 3D side-scrolling stuff. But this new Sonic game, it's open world and it actually looks really interesting, you know. So I'm kind of leaning toward hope that someone gets me that and I can play it on the channel.
Didn't you say someone in the
so yeah, that's it for the video then. And if you are watching in the future, y'all know the routine, or at least I hope you do by now. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe because it would just be your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. So yeah, just stay tuned for more content. Until then, this has been Gamer Dude. Happy gaming, and I will catch you all in the next one, guys.